go to 30 minutes time frame to see if it's actually a valid fair value gap. So let's see if it's a valid fair value gap. Okay. Now you see it here. There's the fair value gap in between here, fair value gap here, and the market retraced back to this zone here. Now, what did the market do? It comes back to fill in that gap. Now, the process by which it comes back to fill in that gap is what is called fair value gap. Now, if you have to take your sell position right from this zone here, you are perfectly correct. Now, you see how it dropped after the retracement, tap into the gap, and it drops massively. Now, one of the reasons why I don't use the 4 hours chart, using fair value gap on the 4 hours chart or daily time frame is because my SL sometimes the target for this might be 1 risk to reward 1, 1 risk to reward 2. And of course, the minimum I usually go for is 1 risk to reward 5. So what I do here, I normally use the 30 minutes time frame to get my fair value gap entry in most cases, 5 minutes time frame in most scenarios. So we'll be looking at another this 30 minutes time frame. I'm just trying to show you that this fair value gap, you can actually find it in all time frame. Now look, coming to this 30 minutes time frame, we also have fair value gap zone here. Now you see this gap in between this zone. You see this long candlestick. Now there's a gap it creates. The gap in between it is what is called fair value gap. Now the market has tested it, but did not cover the gap. Now what will happen is that the market will trace back and then create a movement that can tap into that zone and it went down again. Now, as you can see this scenario here, after it tapped on this particular zone, it went down massively. Now it went down massively. Now we are looking at the bearish move. So you see how the movement is, it fell so massively. Let's see another scenario. Now there can be a fake fair value gap. Now these are the possible ways that you can sometimes recognize them. It's either the spacing between them are very large or little. Now let's look at another scenario here. So you can see we have a fair value gap here. This one becomes wider. Now, if you look at these two, you look at this one, the spacing between these two gaps here, they are very tiny. That's the market movement whereby it comes and taps into that fair value gap zone. Then before the drop is very tiny. Now compared to this one, now you see the gap in between here. This is very large. Now it's still valid. Now one of the major criteria that you can use to find a valid fair value gap is this. Yesterday we talked about liquidity zones. So you see that it's going to be appearing here again. Now this is a liquidity area. Let's draw a trend line confirmation. Now you see this is a liquidity area. Now this liquidity has been formed and there's a fair value gap created. Now this is one of the criteria that you have to consider before you know that a fair value gap is valid. Now the market went down, come back to fill in that gap, tap on this other block and it went down. Now you see how simple it looks. Just like I say, your SL should be above this zone and your take profit should be the lowest point of it. That is if you are bearish. So let's look at small scenario on fair value gap. We'll still go to the 5 minutes time frame and check it out.